go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. As always, joined by the Masters crew, two of my good friends, our senior draft coordinator, our podcast specialist, Dynasty Owl, the Doc. What's up, guys? How you doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excellent.
Good to hear, man. Fantasy season's rolling along. Couple weeks left till kickoff. How excited are you guys?
I can't wait.
Super pumped.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm sleep, eating, fantasy football all day, pretty much 24/7. Was sitting home doing some research, came up with this little thing I wanted to pass along to these guys, pass along to you guys as well, get your thoughts on this. And I'm not exactly sure how, because I had two different ways I wanted to do this episode. One was going to be a do not draft Justin Jefferson at his current ADP. Another way I was going to word it was draft Adam Thielen over Justin Jefferson. I got a little bit of stuff I want to back that up with. And first of all, I think we've talked before about perhaps Thielen just having a better season than Jefferson this year, flat out. I actually want to back that up with a little bit of stats, something I think you guys will find really interesting. And I do think, think Justin Jefferson is going to have a great season. But I'm telling you to pump the brakes at his current ADP. Do not take him in the second round anymore. And here's my reason why. Fast forward to week 16 and week 17 of your season. I just want to give you a little bit about his schedule. Week 16, he gets his first matchup ever with Jalen Ramsey. And for me, I don't even think you can start him that week. I think there's only ever been one wide receiver to go over 100 yards against Jalen Ramsey, which was Amari Cooper, if I'm right about that. Just week after week, I don't care who's playing Jalen Ramsey. You're probably better off not starting him. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, I'm pretty sure the numbers back it up.
We've seen him lock down just about everybody. So, sometimes it's hard to not start those guys, but, we've seen that you got to get lucky for someone to have a decent game against him.
Yeah. Right, and I understand that, getting to the playoffs is the most important thing. I'm not overlooking that by any means. I also think when you're drafting right there, late second round, you have to look at these things, man. If there's another guy that's comparable, maybe you like CeeDee Lamb, who has a better playoff schedule. And then I just want to back that up. Week 17, they get the Green Bay Packers.
Jair, baby.
So he gets Jair. And some stats I wanted to pass along.
Is it at Green Bay, too? Because that could be big.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I do know this. In 2 games last year against Jair Alexander, Justin Jefferson had 5 catches for 52 yards total in those 2 games. So here we go, man. We're talking money time. You get Jalen Ramsey week 16, back it up with 5 catches for 52 yards in 2 games against Jair Alexander. And the reason that I brought up Adam Thielen is because in those same games against Green Bay, he was able to accumulate 9 catches for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was just going to say, tell me who the number 2 corner is on either of those teams.
I do not know.
They just traded him today. They traded Josh Jackson. He probably wasn't the number 2 corner. Maybe Kevin King. I think
did they bring him back? He might be gone.
Either
way, Adam Thielen's way better than whoever it is.
But those were my big stats, man. Kind of wanted to pass it along to you guys, get your thoughts about what you're doing with that. Are you worried about that? Does that make you reconsider taking Justin Jefferson at his current ADP? Pass it over to you guys.
Go ahead, Al.
So, I love those facts. That's huge, really. I wasn't really drafting him at his current ADP to begin with, but now, that definitely makes me feel better about staying away from him. Because, those playoff schedules, it's huge, especially if you're confident in your general fantasy football abilities, which I think most of us are, especially if you're listening to this show, you are too. You think you can make the playoffs just fine in your current league, probably. Yeah. So it's really, you got to focus on those playoff matchups. And, that's huge right there. Those are 2 elite corners, and I don't want a receiver who's going up against those guys either.
Yeah, this is when we had our hot take bold prediction episode, I kind of just mentioned this at the very end that I could see Adam Thielen outperforming Justin Jefferson this year, period. And the ADPs are way different.
Just a year ago, that wouldn't have been a hot take at all.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So,
that would have been fact.
I know Justin Jefferson had a phenomenal rookie year and he's a great receiver, but, so's Adam Thielen, so.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this kind of bleeds into just a draft strategy for this year. I feel like there's a lot of young receivers that are getting taken way too early. Jefferson, even guys like DK Metcalf and Calvin Ridley just running drafts with the Commish over here. just seeing like these guys are going at the top of the second round every time. And I feel like running back wise, it really falls off after the second round, whereas you can still get some stud receivers in the 4th, 5th rounds. So, I mean, for me, strategy-wise, I know a lot of people have been implementing that 0 running back strategy. I've never really done that, but I've never stuck to a single, like, running back, or whatever strategy. But this year, I think I might have to just lock in on running back, because the disparity between the receivers available in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round and the running backs available is ridiculous. So, I think you're kind of crazy for taking any of those young guys, as good as they are, as early as they're going.
100% agree.
Yeah, and for me, like I love Justin Jefferson, and even if you do, if you do draft him, I almost think you have to draft him to trade him at this point, mid-season. I don't think these are the matchups you want going into the playoffs. So I'm calling it now, man. Pump the brakes. Anytime in the second round on Justin Jefferson. If he starts to slip late 3rd, somewhere in there, I'd start to reconsider that take. Because, you can always plan ahead. But if you're drafting them 2nd, man, it's going to be tough to not start those guys this week.
Right.
And nothing sucks more than get all the way to the championship. No knock on my boy. I love Curtis Samuel. But you don't want to be benching Jefferson to start Curtis Samuel. Which I do love Samuel this year. I wish I'd have picked someone else. But you get the point of it, you know. All right, guys, that's all I got. Just wanted to pass that little nugget of information along. As always, if you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Come be a part of the Masters family. Love to have you. Running redrafts 7 nights a week. Dynasty leagues are filling. Best ball leagues, auction leagues. We got it all here at Masters. Any last words?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
See you.